Yeah, so my name is Brian File, CEO of Lanna Coffee Company, and co-owner of the Review Coffee Shop in Tower. So I think the story of Lanna and the story of myself coming to it, is a real interesting one, I think. I first came into, understanding of how a business can truly have a big impact through the Pink House. And so I graduated from Fresno Pacific in 2007, went into the Pink House that year, 2007, 2008. And so within that, there's a module called redistribution and economic development. And when I was in the Pink House, I kind of got the knowledge and understanding that, and this is important. Economics are extremely important to God and to our city. So during the time of the Pink House, we started conversations with the Well Community Church about launching a thrift store in an under-resourced community near Tower in Fresno. And so in 2008, in spring, we launched Neighborhood Thrift Store, and so we're actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary this month, which is pretty amazing. And so we used Neighborhood Thrift to kind of be a launching platform for economic development, and so learned business, learned kind of the skill set of that through 7 years. I was at Neighborhood Thrift. We started in a 2,000 square foot store, grew into a 20,000 square foot store, and I think over $5.5 million has been circulated through that community through used items. And so while I was at Neighborhood Thrift, I think this opportunity to take over what was Lanna Coffee kind of came about, and it seemed like a really exciting thing. I hadn't known a ton about coffee. I knew that I liked fresh coffee, and I knew that I liked it brewed in a good way, but beyond that had no understanding of kind of this specialty coffee movement. And so we took Lanna Coffee Company and said, man, how do we create a sustainable and profitable business so that we can do the ultimate good that we want to see happen in Thailand? This is the Hill Tribe Mountains. Absolutely stunning. Wow.
See, that's the different variety of the yellow. So when he's done, he'll pull up that pipe. They're all come down and go through the filter.
Cool, okay.
And then down into that compartment.
He's getting in there to pull the pipe. And let it go down. So right now the roaster is warming up. He's putting the beans in the hopper.
Espresso.
I had known about Lanna Coffee previously because of the nonprofit that I was working with prior to coming to Lanna, that was actually a human trafficking prevention agency. And knowing that conscious consumerism is something we're wanting to promote, we looked for a coffee company that partnered well in that way, and hearing that Lanna was local, that they were doing work in Thailand, that the coffee was ethically sourced and direct trade was a win-win. And so I was drinking Lanna and buying Lanna before I ever worked for Lanna, never thinking I would, but I'm really happy that I am. Conscious consumerism is basically just being conscious of how your money makes a difference in the world. So being a conscious consumer means that you are intentionally being aware or making yourself aware of who is producing that product, where it's coming from, where it's being sourced, and how those people are being treated. So a lot of times there are industries that, unbeknownst to us, people are exploited in until we start researching or discovering, and coffee and chocolate happen to be two of the most exploitive industries worldwide. And so the difference that you can make if you're starting to practice conscious consumerism, or mindfulness is another term, where you pick one product a year and you buy fairly of that product, whether it be coffee or chocolate or shoes or whatever, knowing that the money you're spending is going towards potentially changing people's lives. Also, one of the reasons that I love working at Lanna is because of our partnerships with Intertribal Development Program in Thailand, and how they have really taken a people group that has been under-resourced, that's forgotten about by the local government. They're refugee peoples. They're not really recognized in a way that would bring resources to them and would allow them to move beyond poverty or their circumstances. And so with that, exploitation happened, in that drug lords came through and said, well, we'll help you. You help us, we'll help you. And the founders of ITDP, Richard Mann, was taking a step back and looking at what's a sustainable solution to the poverty of the Karen tribes, and coffee was that answer. And so you take this people group that is under-resourced and you provide them with a sustainable crop, and you start selling that within Thailand and now overseas. You roast an amazing product and you have this end result. The people that are purchasing that then are affecting these farmers' lives, as we have direct relationship. So every time you buy a bag of Lanna coffee, you are supporting a farmer in Thailand who otherwise may be exploited or not have a means to really get out of their situation. So through the co-op and through the relationship with the farmers, we chose to focus on the water projects because that was what the Karen tribes asked for. And that was the first thing they said. And what was unique about our partnership with the nonprofit in Thailand is that they listened. That they had an idea. They were agriculture scientists and professionals, and they went in to see, well, how can we help with this opioid crisis, and how can we help in these crops? Well, the people requested clean water. They said, well, if anything, if you're going to help us have sanitation and water, and then we'll listen to what you have to say. And so that's how the co-op came to be, because they listened to the requests of the Karen tribes.
Yeah.
There's arguments of, why are you paying so much for this coffee versus this coffee? And part of it is all the hands that it goes through, and the fairly paid farmers, and the time that it takes to really produce a quality product. What would make Lanna different would just be the fact that it is small batch, and it is, we are passionate about what we do, and we're careful to make sure that we're honoring the farms that our beans are coming from, and the people that we're here to serve, really.